Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willingly seeks her own salvation?
I tell thee she is. Therefore make her grave straight. The crowner hath faith on her and finds a Christian burial.
How can that be, unless she drowned herself in her own defense?
Why, 'tis found so.
It must be, say offendendo. It cannot be else. For here lies the point. If I drown myself wittingly, it argues an act. And an act hath three branches. It is to act, to do, and to perform. Argal, she drowned herself wittingly.
Nay, but hear good man tells her.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man go to this water and drown himself, it is will he, nil he. He goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
I marry ist. Crowner's quest law.
Will you have the truth on?
Eh?
If this had not been a gentlewoman, she should have been buried out of Christian burial.
Why? There thou sayest. And the more pity that great folk should have countenance in this world to drown or hang themselves more than they're even Christian. Come, my spade, there is no ancient gentleman but gardeners, ditchers, and grave makers. They hold up Adam's profession.
Was he a gentleman?
I was the first that ever bore arms.
Why, he had none.
What? Art a heathen? How dost thou understand the scripture? The scripture says Adam digged. Could he dig without arms? I'll put another question to thee. If thou answerest me not to the purpose, confess thy sin. What is he that builds stronger than either the mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
The gallows maker. For that frame outlives 1,000 peasants.
I like thy wit well. In good faith, the gallows does well. But how does it well? It does well to those that do ill. Now thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Argal, the gallows may do well to thee. Do it again. Come.
Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter?
Aye, tell me that, and unyoke.
Mary, now I can tell.
To it.
Matt, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say, a grave maker. The houses he makes last till doomsday. Go, get thee in, and fetch me a stoop of liquor. In youth, when I did love, methought it was very sweet to counteract all the time for my behold. Oh, methought there was nothing of me. Has this fellow no feeling of his business that sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
Tisian so. The hand of little employment hath the daintiest sense. But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me until the land as I had never been such. That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. How the knave jowls her to the ground as if 'twere Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. This might be the pate of a politician, which this ass now o'erreaches one that would circumvent God. Might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, sweet lord? This might be my lord, such a one that prays my lord, such a one's horse when I'm meant to beg it. Might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why, e'en so. And now my lady worms, chapless, and knocked about the mazard with a sexton's spade. Here's fine revolution, and we had the trick to see it. Did these bones cost no more the breeding but to play at loggets with them? Mine ache to think on't.
A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shrouding sheet, oh, bit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is me.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now? His killities, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this mad knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in time a great buyer of land, with his statutes, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fines, and the recovery of his recoveries, to have his fine pate full of fine dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his lands will scarcely lie in this box, and must the inheritor himself have no more? Ha!
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and of calfskins too.
They are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah? Mine, sir. Oh, a bit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is me. I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest, and you lie out on't, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in't, yet it is mine. Thou dost lie in't, to be in't, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in't?
One that was a woman, sir, but
Rest her soul, she's dead. How absolute the knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, Horatio, this 3 years I have taken note of it. The age is grown so picked that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier he galls his kibe. How long hast thou been a grave maker? Of all the days of the year, I came to it that day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortune.
how long is that since?
Cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent into
Aye,
England. Marry, why was he sent into England? Why, because it was mad. I shall recover his wits there. Or if I do not, it is no great matter there. Why? 'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he. How came he mad? Very strangely, they say. How strangely? Faith, e'en with losing his wits. Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I have been sexton, man and boy here 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot? Faith, if it be not rotten before I die, as we have many parky courses nowadays that will scarce hold the laying in, I will last you some 8 year or 9 year, The tanner will last you 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with his trade that will keep out water a great while, and your water is a sore decay of your horse and dead body. Here's a skull now hath lying you in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A horse and mad fellow's it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. A porter flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was, sir, Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning? Quite chapfallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber, and tell her let her paint an inch thick. To this favour she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked on this fashion of the earth,
E'en so.
and smelt so?
E'en so, my lord.
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till I find it stopping a bunghole?
Twere to consider too curiously, to consider so.
No faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it. As thus, Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth to dust. The dust is earth. Of earth we make loam. And why of that loam whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter's flaw. But soft a while. Here comes the king. The queen, the courtiers, whose is this they follow? And with such maim and right? This doth betoken the course they follow did with desperate hand for do it own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch me a while, and mark.
What ceremonial?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth. Mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranty. Her death was doubtful, and but that great commander sways the order. She should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her birds and crons, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done! We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem, and such rest to her as to peace parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring.
I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling. What? The fair Ophelia? Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Trouble, woe, fault,
10 times trouble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quickened dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made. To our topmost billion, on the sky is shed of blue Olympus. What is he, whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded heroes? This is I, Hamlet the Day! The devil take thy soul! Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat, for though I am not splenitive and rash, yet have I in me something dangerous, which let thy wisdom fear. Hold off thy head! Gentlemen!
Good, my lord, be quiet.
Why? I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer weigh! My son, what fear? I love no failure! 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum! What wilt thou do for her? Only his pathway, God forbid! Show me what thou do! Won't weep, won't fight, won't fast, won't dare thyself, won't drink up a sea and eat a crocodile! I'll do it! Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, then so will I! And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground, singeing his page against the burning zone, make also like a wart! Nay, an else mouth I'll rant as thou as thou! This is mere madness! And thus a while the fit will work on him! I'm not as patient as the female dove. When not her golden couplets are disclosed, his silence will sit.
Hear you, sir? What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever, but it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, the dog will have his day.
I pray the good Horatio wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then in patience our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart, there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutants and the bilbos. Rashly, and be praised be rashness for it. Let us know. Our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep laws do pull, and that should learn us. There's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me. In the dark groped I to find out them. Had my desire fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold my fierce forgetting manners to unseal their grand commission, where I found Horatio. Royal knavery, an exact command, larded with several sorts of reasons, importing Denmark's health, and England's too. with such bugs and goblins in my life that on the supervised no leisure baited. No, not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is't possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus beneted round with villainies, or I could make a prologue to my brains. They had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. I once did hold it, as our statists do, a baseness to write fair, and labored much how to forget that learning. But, sir, now it did me yeoman service. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord. An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, as love between them like the palm might flourish, as peace should still her wheat and garland wear, and stand a between their amities, and many such like as of great charge, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debasement further, more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death, no shriving time allowed. How was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinance. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal. Folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now the next day was our sea fight, and what to this was sequent thou know'st already.
So, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it?
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous when the base in nature comes between the past and fell insensate points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not? Think thee, stand me now upon. He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life. And with such cozenage, is't not perfect conscience to quit him with disarm? And is not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine, and a man's life no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that Laertes I forgot myself, for by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favours, but sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost thou know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a show, but, as I say, spacious in the possession
Sweet
of
lord,
dirt.
if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir.
With all diligence of spirit, put your bonnet to his right use. 'Tis for the head.
Thank your lordship, it is very hot.
No, believe me, 'tis very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord. It is very sultry, as 'twere I cannot tell how. But, my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the
I beseech you, remember.
Nay, good my lord.
for mine ease in good faith. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, he is the card or calendar of gentry. For you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would see.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him inventorially would doozy the arithmetic of memory. And yet but yaw, neither in respect of his quick sale, but in the verity of extolment, I take him to be a soul of great article, and his infusion of such dearth and rareness as to make true diction of him. His semblable is his mirror, and who else would trace him? His umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly.
The
of him.
consonancy, sir? Why do we wrap the gentleman in our more rawer breath?
Sir?
It's not possible to understand in another tongue. You will do it, sir, really. What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His
Purse is empty already. All golden words are spent.
of him, sir.
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir, yet in faith if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon. But the imputation laid on him by them, in his meed he's unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but, well,
The king, sir, hath wagered with him 6 Barbary horses, against the which he has him pawned, as I take it, 6 French rapiers and poniards, with their assigns as girdle, hangers, and so. 3 of the carriages, in faith, are very dear to fancy, very responsive to the hilts, most delicate carriages, and of very liberal conceit.
what call you the carriages?
I knew you must be edified by the margin dear you had done.
The carriages, sir, are the hangers.
The phrase would be more germane to the matter if we could carry a cannon by our sides. I would be hangers till then. But on! 6 Barbary horses against 6 French swords, their signs, and 3 liberal conceited carriages. That's the French bet against the Danish. Why is all this impawned, as you call it?
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought in, the gentleman willing, and the king hold his purpose. I will win for him, and I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame. And the odd hits.
Shall I re-deliver you e'en so?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. Yours. He does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else. Force turn.
This lapwing runs away with the shell on his
I
head.
did comply, sir. With his dug before sucked it. Thus has he, and many more of the same bevy that I know the drossy age dotes on, only got the tune of that collection which carries them through and through the most fanned and winnowed opinions, and do but blow them to their trial. The bubbles are out.
My lord, his majesty commended him to you by young Osric, who brings back to him that you attend him in the hall. He sends to know if your pleasure hold to play with Laertes, or that you will take longer time.
I am constant to my purposes. They follow the king's pleasure. If his fitness speaks, mine is ready, now or whensoever, provided I be so able as now.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
In happy time.
The queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment, Laertes, before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery. But it is such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind is like anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not to it!
We defy augury. There is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all, since no man of aught he leaves knows what is to leave betimes. Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong. But pardon it as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done, that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wrong, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and when he's not himself does wrong, Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If it be so, Hamlet is the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience, let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge.
But in my terms of honor I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement till by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But till that time I do receive your offered love, like love, and will not wrong it. I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils! Come on!
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance, your skill shall, like a star the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another. This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Aye, my good lord.
Send me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit an answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup an union shall he throw richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have won. Give me the cups, and let the kettle to the trumpet speak. The trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannon to the heavens, the heaven to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And here the judges bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
One!
No!
Judgment!
A hit. A very palpable hit. Well, again, say, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. Another hit! What say you?
A touch. I do confess it. Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet. Good madam!
Do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by. Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now. I do not think it. Yet it is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I am afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on! Nothing neither way. I'm at you now! Thwart them! They are incensed!
Nay! Come again!
Look to the queen! How?
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is Laertes? Why, as a woodcock to mine own springe. Osric, I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She sounds to see them bleed.
No, the drink, oh my dear Hamlet, the drink, I am poisoned!
Oh, villainy! Oh! Let the door be locked! Treachery! Sing it out!
It is here! Hamlet, thou art slain! No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I get no more. The king's to blame.
Point in venom too? Then venom to thy work!
Defend me! Friends! I am hurt!
Here, thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane! Drink off this potion! Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, Homo Hamlet. My father's death come not upon me, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu! You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act. Had I but time, as this fell sergeant Death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest, report me, and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. There's yet some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go, by heaven, I'll have it.
Oh God, Horatio, what a wounded name! Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What a warlike noise is this? Young Fortinbras with conquest come from Poland, to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike folly. Oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ercrowds my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with your currents more and less, which have solicited, the rest is silence. Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing me to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where is this sign?
What is it you would see?
If aught of woe or wonder cease your search.
His quarry cries on havoc. O proud death, what feast is taught in thine eternal cell that thou hast so many princes at a shot, so bloodily hast struck?
The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. The years are senseless that should give us hearing, to tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks? Naught from his mouth added the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. But since, so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polack wars, and you from England, are here arrived to give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed into the view
and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and in this upshot purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver. Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me. Of that I shall have also cause to speak, and from his mouth whose voice will draw on more. But let this same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen. Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royal, and for his passage the soldier's music and the rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot!